This is
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back. Can you even believe it?
our last episode before Christmas.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
I hear sleigh bells.
We don't have our soundboard.
I know,
so-
I know. I'll get that going. I have a confession on
I
episode
love a Christmas
282.
confession.
Christmas confession, episode 282. Sarah, you know
Susie.
how recently you were talking about what happened where Cole sent you the wrong item, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so Sarah ordered a
My
pair of
moment of
socks.
shame?
Yeah.
My guilt.
She ordered a pair of socks and she got a Under Armour hoodie instead, and
Pair
she
of
returned
pants.
it.
Yeah,
Pants. Okay,
And I got an Under Armour hoodie. So it was like $20 difference.
right. Well,
Yeah.
I ordered a pair of earrings with the Nordstrom gift card you gave me for my birthday.
Yay.
I was so excited because they're super cute, and they were about $60. And I got the package, and the packing slip said that it was the earrings that I ordered, but inside the package was a $450 ring.
Oh, my. Oh, my God. I literally just lost all of the, I couldn't speak.
Yes.
As you heard.
Yes.
What? Please, Susie.
Okay.
What did you do?
So I looked at the thing, and it said $450, David Yorman gold and silver mixed metal ring. It's gorgeous. And I was like, what? And I thought, maybe Adam got this for me for Christmas and I wasn't supposed to open it, but I saw that the packing slip said the earrings that I had ordered. So I kept the damn thing, and it looks great.
You know what? Who cares? That's built in. Suze. Okay, see, this is the universe being like, Sarah, you don't need to feel bad about yours because look at Susie's dollar amount.
Can you believe?
I can't even believe it.
Oh, so basically you got me this for my birthday because it's with a gift card that you gave me.
Welcome. Oh, that's got to be some witchy power right there.
That's what
I was
I'm
like, I'm going to
thinking.
upgrade her shit. Hang on a sec.
You're
Wiggle
like
my nose.
Samantha on Bewitched.
That's exactly what I was thinking, and I did that. I just did that right
The
now.
nose wrinkle.
Yep.
Well, anyway, it's gorgeous and it matches all my other jewelry, and I'm like, I
Suze.
friggin' love this
And
thing.
wait a sec.
Yeah.
Weren't you just telling me
Yes!
that what?
Yes! I am
This
obsessed
was-
with rings.
This was and I asked you that so that I could have some information as to what else I wanted to get you for Christmas.
Oh my God.
But that's not what I ended up getting you.
Oh my
The
God.
universe gave you that.
This is
what?
crazy.
Yeah, we'll just call that. We'll say we did that.
And so I did go on and order the earrings again. Because I do want
It's
the
the
earrings.
right thing to do.
Right.
You know?
The right thing to do probably would have been to tell them that I got this. But I don't
Somebody's
care.
going to be really disappointed that they just got a pair of earrings.
They really are. But they'll get their ring. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's it. Is everybody's happy. And this is what I say, is that is built into the price of goods.
That's what I'm saying, Sarah.
Because you know how people in who've worked in restaurants
Yeah.
have no problem when you send food back?
Yeah.
And they're like, trust me, if you had any, and I'm always like, when I'm with Landon and I want to send food back, I'm like, I don't want to be wasteful. I'll just eat it like that,
Yeah.
whatever. You think you don't want to waste the food. And anybody who has worked in restaurants always tells me, oh my God, do you know how much shit they throw away? This is not a big deal. Like everything goes, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
and
built
you
in.
shouldn't worry. And that's how I, as somebody who worked in retail, feel about when I worked in the hair care business, I watched them because they can't just, if things get returned and they're like certain beauty products, you can't resell them based on like California laws and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So they have to damage them and they can't just throw them away because people will get them out of the garbage can and then try to resell them or like refill them with other stuff. So you have to damage them. And I would watch managers take razor blades to $89 shampoo. And I was like, stop!
Oh my God.
And I just watched them destroy things. And I think it's only recently, I think Burberry just signed on to do this too, that they stopped burning designer clothes.
God. Yeah.
Because that was happening. They were like, well, we can't drop the price of this because it devalues our brand.
Right.
And so we have to destroy it. and that's what they were doing. So I know how the waist is on that side. I'm like, you take that goddamn ring and you wear that, and who cares?
I want Dahlia to do a poll on our social media and ask people what they think, because I think a lot of people would think the right thing to do would be to call Nordstrom and let them handle it however they wish. And then they probably would believe that something even better would come your way if you did the right thing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that is maybe...
That's hard to do when it's a $450 ring you love.
And also what you have to think about is they don't know, and like I always... Well, my husband would tell you that and probably you would tell me this, that your time is valuable.
Absolutely.
And your time is worth money. And so if you have to spend whatever amount of time it is to contact customer service, to wait on hold, to put it in the mail, to ship it back, that's money.
Yeah.
And if you look at the actual value of that ring, it's half what retail is. And even that's probably less than that. And you're like, okay, is my time worth $100?
Yeah.
No. Or like, or whatever the answer,
Yeah.
Like, not worth it to waste my time on that, and they should just whatevs. So
Thank
I can
you,
like
Sarah.
talk my way.
I know that's what you said you did when the Under Armour $20 came.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm doing right now, but
we'll move on. I mean, if you do want to get a deal, I would highly recommend going to Poshmark. That's where we sell all of our clothes and shoes and jewelry and things that we don't use anymore, and you can get a deal on the stuff that we have, or of that other place.
Probably a bunch of other orders that got messed up, and people are like, "Hey, I don't need this extra large men's sweatshirt. I'm going to sell it on Poshmark."
Sarah, I did when I got the ring. I looked on Poshmark, and they have the ring that I have, and I was like, "Oh, I could make a lot of money."
You have to, I want to see this ring.
But you should check out Poshmark, because I bet you guys have a lot of stuff you want to get rid of, and you want to make room for all the Christmas gifts you're going to get. So go sell your stuff or make offers on stuff if you want to get a bargain. Poshmark is an app, or you can go to the website, and if you use our referral code, which is I'm Sarah Rice, you're going to get $5 off your first purchase. And that's also the name of Sarah's closet, where she lists all her cool clothes and shoes and stuff from her husband. And then my closet is Susie Meister, so you can check out what I have. Lots of clothes, and I'm always listing stuff. Every week I list a couple things, so keep checking back on that.
I need to get on that myself.
Again, it's I'm Sarah Rice for that $5 off. Right. Well, it is the season. It's a buying time of year.
Yeah. Oh my God. I am just going crazy. But I had to go crazy because I was online shopping. I tried to take a page out of your book, Suze.
Yeah.
And I have a love-hate relationship with online shopping.
Yeah.
It's like, I would say 70% of the stuff that arrived, I had to take back.
That's really weird. I try to take your advice, though. I've bought a lot of gifts on Etsy from small sellers, and
oh, yay.
I try to do that more than I used to, for sure. If I can get it from, somewhere small, then I will.
Yeah. I bought Landon's gift on there, one of Landon's gifts, and his mom a mug that says, "Stressed, blessed, and Chihuahua obsessed."
Why does it say stressed?
Because that is just, it describes her perfectly.
Well,
and it just happened to say that. And I was like, yeah, this makes sense.
She'll love it. I know.
She'll love it. She'll go nuts over that. Oh my God. It's like the best.
Okay. So speaking of sort of like buying things at big or small places, there was an incident. Did you read about it at Amazon, one of their distribution centers?
Is this about peeing into a bottle?
No, but that's hilarious. This was an incident where they have robots and then they have regular people that do the work. And there were robots that accidentally punctured a can of bear repellent. And
oh my God!
25 people had to go to the hospital. One was in critical condition. Because the bear repellent is so potent and terrible.
Oh my God.
Thanks
a lot, Steve. Robot Steve.
Right.
God.
He's
going to hear from HR.
Well, it's kind of like when we talked about the self-driving cars. Like, there are downsides to technology.
This is
not perfect.
You know what? This is that, like, you can replace a person with a robot, but person's probably not going to, you know what? And now that you say that, I bet it was a robot that accidentally gave you that ring in a box.
Well, then I am all for it.
Yeah.
You're
because
probably
like that's
right.
the sorting thing.
Yeah.
If they can't different. Ooh, it's probably just the same size box or something.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? Could you imagine how pissed would you be? And then you try to explain it to people, and they're like, "What happened to you?" You're like, "Robots."
Right.
They're taking over.
One word, robots.
Yeah, and like, what if like the robots are secretly meeting in like their own Amazon break room, and there's like, here's what we're gonna do. First, you stab the bear repellent can. Then I'm gonna use my new little robot claw arm, and we're gonna take over.
Well, it made me think of you though, because you're going on a road trip, and I thought, are you taking like bear repellent and stuff like that?
No, we're not going to any place. We're staying at campsites where they're pretty like heavily populated, and we have the dogs, of course, and all of the trails that we're going to be hiking are going to be real like busy, and this is like a real busy time of year. Oh man, the reservation process, like to get these campsites, you would have thought I was trying to get tickets to like
really
Justin Bieber in 2008.
Stop it. Why? What is the process?
You have to be okay. So they release the reservations online and on phone like 6 months before each month. So like whatever month you want to reserve it for, they open it up 6 months before, and there are only like 75 spots, in some of these campgrounds, and there's maybe like 5 campgrounds in all of Yosemite. So there's not a lot of spaces to camp. Like if you want to camp in the park or you want to camp, there are places outside of the park but they're not nearly as good.
Right.
In like all these national parks.
The prime
So
spots.
that's what the national, yes. So you have to go to like national park, like reservations.gov or whatever. Mm-hmm. And when they open it up, you have to be on it at 7:15 in the morning as soon as they open up the reservation, and you have to be already like tuned into it and on the site, and you have to click it or else you lose your space in line, and if you don't get it, you're out.
Gosh.
And they go in like 15 minutes.
Wow.
So it's like nerve-wracking.
I really did not think that was the case.
And I was just like, oh, it'll be fine or whatever. And so I was looking in Sequoia National Park, which is, not as grand and popular as Yosemite, but, so I was thinking, oh, we have a chance here. It opened up at like 7:15. I was looking at it, available. I went back to check. I like got in the car and drove to do something. I looked back at like 9 o'clock, booked. Booked. I was like, what? I missed it. And then I called and like, thank God I'd like talked to somebody who was able to get me in somewhere. But
oh, okay.
Yeah. So luckily that worked out, but on like gone like in 2 seconds.
Oh,
and I'm like, this is so, and I had made a big old deal about how like, oh, this is going to be so fun. And I want to take part in the planning of it.
Yeah.
Because Landon always plans everything. And so like, he's like, I'll plan these parks and you plan those parks. Fuck that shit. He's forget it. Now I understand why it's his job and he can do that. And I don't care about the goddamn planning part. Show me the pictures and I'll say yay or nay. Because that is stress that I don't need in my life.
Right. Now you know what you got.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That lesson learned. Got it.
I was just reading about how some places in, I think it was Montana, but that type of place are asking visitors to please not geotag them on Instagram because it's like bringing all these influencers and annoying like people that just want to take pictures and ruin the ecosystem, and they just want to limit how much tourism they get, which is, I guess, a good problem that people are gaining interest in these beautiful places, but it seems like it's for the wrong reasons. They just want a beautiful picture.
That's awful. Oh my God. I'm thinking maybe, oh man, I'm like torn. I'm thinking maybe I would do this road trip technology free.
No, don't you dare.
Don't I dare. That's crazy, right? I was like, what if I just get because we have a nice camera and like use that regular camera.
Oh, okay.
And like take pictures, do the whole thing, but do it like how, like how it was done freaking 20 years ago, not even that long ago.
Yeah. I mean, that could work.
I
do think those pictures are so nice for your kids and stuff to look at.
Oh, yeah.
So
I definitely want a lot of those. Man, that reminds me of what you were telling me about how the trees are sad in Yosemite. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we need to oh, we need to do something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's no perfect solution because you want
No,
people
there's
to
not.
care about visiting these places. It's so beautiful, and we should all enjoy our country or, our world or planet. But there's a real price to pay, and people don't always know what the answers are, including the developers that put the parking lots there and things like that.
Right. Well, I think it all, I mean, just like everything goes back to like mindfulness, because if you are in it, it makes my mind go to is how everybody says, oh my God, the real world houses are so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then I told you guys on here that they stopped painting halfway up the walls and didn't screw the screws all the way in. Mm-hmm. And how if it's just for looks and just to paint some sort of image, then nobody cares about the actual location, the place, the whatever it is. And I think if you stop and you care about your surroundings and you don't care about just what is the impression that other people get, then you'll put emphasis on and care into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like having that one closet where you're shoving everything into in your house.
Right.
You're like, no, my house is clean, but look at this one really dirty closet.
I was also reading an article about, how Amish people, like, you'll see them with phones sometimes. I don't know if you know this as much.
I have seen / heard of this.
Well, it's really a bizarre thing. And there was an article written about it, and it was talking about how, if they want to work, which they all do, then they really do have to have some access to the internet. And so they've created all these new rules about it, but they do use it. And it, to me, is such a joke.
Yeah.
Like, they allow it to be like at work, not at home. You can use it. But the crazy thing is, this is surprising to me. Their population is going up. The population in Amish countries up.
I can see that.
150% in 25 years.
I can see that. I can see it's like a return to. I think it's the same thing.
What
it falls
is that?
in line with that. It's the extreme of that jarring and canning and all that kind of movement.
Is there a dog near you right now?
Yes.
Yes. That dog. I'm like, is that?
You know what? They snuck in.
I thought it's either Santa with his sleigh bells or a dog.
Yeah, they snuck in, and now they travel as a pair, and they're always like
double trouble.
Double trouble.
But the Amish people claim that the whole point of no technology is to encourage restraint and togetherness as these core principles, and so as long as they can maintain those principles, then it's no big whoop. But I'm like, really? But okay.
But like, why do you still have to wear the hat?
That's what I'm saying. Or how about get deodorant?
Yeah. Like it's just always interesting to me when people embrace one part of technology, but then want to shun others.
Yeah, they pick and choose.
Like this, but not this.
Right.
I think everything in moderation and balance and all that kind of stuff, and knowing like intention, like we always talk about, and be in the moment. But if you can do, I don't know, I just feel like
if you're going to go ahead and use zippers, then whatever. Change. You can get new clothes and stop wearing the damn hats.
Yeah, like what what does it represent? Like what is the, I don't know.
By the way, this is Susie talking, not Scholar Susie, because if I were talking about the Amish in real professional setting, I would not be saying this stuff.
Yeah.
But I get that
we should have a disclaimer at the beginning of this. Like,
none
of what they say on here is a reflection of any of their professional work. Sarah is not a therapist, and Susie is not a doctor. Well, she is. But at this point, not,
She does not have her scholar hat on, that's for sure.
She's not wearing that scholar hat.
Did you read about the woman that, the first female soccer player to win, like, Soccer Player of the Year?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm annoyed that I didn't hear about it, though, because nothing but ESPN is on in my house all the time. So you'd think that this story would come up. But now I'm even more upset because I'm supposed to be hearing that, and I didn't.
Well, you did hear, though, about Grove, right, and how awesome it is?
Oh, well, I already know.
Right. Grove is the perfect solution if you want to get really nice products to clean your house and to have in your kitchen. and you don't want to have to do the hassle of going and buying it, and you want stuff that's responsible, so conscious environmentally, all that jazz. It's the holiday season. You want your house packed with family, but you don't want to have to do all the...
Well, and they're messy, so you need stuff to clean up after them.
You really do. They have a lot of Mrs. Meyer's stuff, and they have really nice holiday scents like Iowa pine, peppermint, orange clove. They have holiday hand soap, stuff like that. This site, I keep finding new treasures. I love to try them because they're, really good for you and your family, but they're really handy to have as well. And I can't emphasize this enough. Shop Grove before this exclusive holiday offer runs out. This stuff will be all gone come December. For a limited amount of time, our listeners who sign up get an amazing free Mrs. Meyer's holiday products, a free 60-day VIP membership, and a surprise bonus gift just for you when you sign up and place an order of $20 or more. Check out Grove and our special offer at grove.co/braincandy. That's grove.co, not com/braincandy. Seriously, check out their site. It's got so many nice things, and you can have it set to come to you automatically and
I love that.
Restock you on this, and they can do concentrated versions of things. It's great. It's great.
Great.
Okay, wait. What were you going to say? You had a story.
Oh, I don't know.
I interrupted
Did I?
you. Yeah. Oh no, the soccer player. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
you interrupted yourself.
Yes, the first female soccer player to win this award. It's really prestigious, and she was so honored and humbled, and she was emphasizing how important this is for young girls to see that this, that you can become the best and that you'll be celebrated and all this stuff. And she was given the award on stage, and then the host of the show asked her to twerk.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. It's so dumb.
That's not what I thought I just thought that I did. Yeah. God.
So, at the time, he said it, and she was just and it was in another language, and then she was no, and she just walked off the stage, and the audience was silent. It wasn't like everyone was laughing.
Oh, you know what? She did the right thing.
Yeah, but then afterwards, the guy apologized and stuff, but now it's been about a week, and she's now it's a problem because that's all anyone wants to talk to her about.
Oh, God.
So it's still about the guy. The man is still getting all the attention when she's the one that won the award.
Damn, that's so sad.
Isn't that a bummer?
Yeah. God.
I mean, what was he thinking?
What? I'm trying. So this was in another language? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It totally does. And there's no no, it doesn't matter.
I think the context was that either she said she just wanted, I think she may have said in her speech, I'm so excited I could just dance or something like that. And maybe that's what it was in reference to, but it was what?
Yeah.
And I understand that being a host is difficult, and sometimes you say stupid stuff because you have to be witty and think of things off the top of your head. But what a disappointment.
Yeah. Well, and it's the most prestigious award. So you would think that you'd do something to honor them and not do something that feels so cheap and tacky. I feel like there's no situation where that would even be close to something you'd say to a man. There's
Never.
Not even oh, let's see a dance move. You wouldn't even say something like that because you're this is your moment. And you know what? He stole the moment away from her.
Yeah, and he still is. We're still talking about that instead of the fact that she's
it's a Kanye thing, with
yes,
Taylor Swift. Why do they do that?
Well, patriarchy.
Fuck the patriarchy.
Right.
You know what's so funny? In my last final that I took a bit ago, one of the questions that I had to give a short essay answer for was talking about having a male client come into therapy with his wife and how masculine socialization has made it difficult for them to get therapy, and basically please talk about the patriarchy.
Oh my God. And you were yes.
And I was lick my end of my pen. let me go take this one. Well, just give me full credit.
You should have been excluded from, like, you shouldn't even have to do it because you've done so much work in this category.
Right? I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, I got it.
Oh
but it was really interesting to see, to learn. And there was like a research article where somebody identified the types of, like, what do they call it? Hegemonic stereotypes or hegemonic masculinity, like these dominant discourse of like what men are taught. And it's like, don't be a sissy. Yeah, so that's one of them. The big wheel, which is like always achieving and always be chasing. The strong elm, which is like never show weakness and always be like steadfast and strong. Give them hell, which is react with violence and aggression. And there's one other one. I can't remember what it is. But anyways, those are like the types. And it's how now what's happening is like we're asking men to be more sensitive and be more in touch with their emotions. But that completely contradicts these masculine stereotypes and this hegemonic masculinity that's like the dominant discourse. So men are like, what the hell? I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. And they're in like this double jeopardy where they like don't know how to talk about their emotions but are supposed to be. So, yeah.
Well,
anyways,
you know,
gotta help them.
We sort of joke about how we talk about patriarchy all the time. I wish we didn't have to.
Right.
Which reminds me, should we talk about Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Oh no. What'd he do? What happened?
Oh my God, Sarah.
I don't even know yet. Please. Ooh.
Like 4 women are accusing him of sexual misconduct.
Dude.
1 rape.
No. What?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
I'm so disappointed.
If somebody takes Jeff Goldblum away from me.
There is always that fear of like Tom Hanks or like someone that's so
Please
great.
Please don't ruin them. Please. What the actual fuck? Like, ugh.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
So the rape accusation, though, had been around for a few years, and she went to, I believe, grad school with him. And you should read his, like, you know, quote unquote apology or whatever you'd call it, his I guess, statement, where he says, you know, I forget if he said that they had a consensual relationship or whatever, but he points out that she's no longer like in astrophysics and how she like is interested now in like woo-woo stuff, like astrology or whatever, like witchy stuff.
Okay, so he's trying to
he's trying to delegitimize her and be like, yes, she's crazy. And somebody pointed out, like, why do you think she left the business? Why do you think she might have?
Oh, no.
Her career might have been
Susie.
derailed. Right.
Dude, no freaking joke.
Because that's what they always say. Like, well, they're kind of a loser.
That's something to take a look at. Mm-hmm. I wonder what percentage of women in these, like, when they're in a world that's really a male-dominated, like, field, or when, like, we have talked about, even in the, like you had asked me a long time ago, I'm curious at if the number of male and female, like the ratio of male to females in your program once you get into a PhD level changes. And the answer is yes, it does.
Yeah. And
so I wonder how, like, at what point do the women get pushed out, not because of their own decisions, but because of some fucking creepy dude?
Well, because these guys that get accused always talk about the backlash on their life. Well, what about the backlash of a woman losing her career? And
or like just not wanting to do the thing that she was passionate about.
Yeah.
That's even more fucked up.
His explanation made me, like, you know, not like him.
Oh, no.
Because it was just sort of like, I invited this girl to my house for wine and stuff, and I do that with everybody. I'm just a friendly guy, and I'm just like, I don't know about that.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. They're investigating him.
Yep. Well, you know, I'm going to listen to her. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
but
so
it's
hard to be on
it's
that
always
side.
disappointing. And you just, my husband was like, I'm surprised when there's not an accusation against these guys in the entertainment industry because there's so much opportunity to exploit their power.
Yeah.
You know, and fame and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then it goes, you know, it's like it goes to their head and they You know, I see how some of these guys, I just think back to the challenge and how the guys like are on their first season and how they go, like, you know, when I used to do the club appearances and stuff, and I would see even the guys from my own season, I saw what they were like when nobody knew who they were.
Yeah.
And I saw how that changed when they knew that anybody would sleep with them just for who they were.
Right. And we're not even like actual celebrities.
And we're like nothing. Nobody's, you know. Like, I even felt a little bit of that, where I could get any guy for that reason.
Well, yeah. It does change things.
And that kind of that fucks it up, man. And, oh, God, it's messy.
Something that's changed the way that I look at money, though, is the Robinhood investing app, which is an app that lets you buy and sell stocks and options and cryptos, all commission-free. And they want to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy, which I really love. So they created this non-intimidating way for stock market newcomers like me who don't know a lot about what the heck is going on, so they can do it with confidence. And they have this really clear design on the app, and it's just easy to digest and get into.
Take back your power with financial security and independence.
Yes, and I
love it.
They have no commission fees. It's super easy to use, and you learn by doing. You can poke around and see how to keep track of everything. And they have such a great deal for our listeners. I want you guys to try it. Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio if you sign up at braincandy.robinhood.com. That's braincandy.robinhood.com. What a great way to learn, I think, about something that can be like really intimidating to people.
Learn and make money.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, they pay you.
Anyways, let's change the subject. I did read about a really cool thing in Paris, which is called, I don't know what it's called in French, but like it's the Office of Found Objects. So it's basically like a lost and found, really.
A gigantic lost and found. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, how fun.
It says they get over 6,000 objects per day.
Wow.
And it says it began under Napoleon.
Whoa! What are they doing with all these objects?
And then they basically have everything there. And then if you lost even, an umbrella or a wallet or whatever, you can go there and see, and they make sure that you're the actual owner. You have to prove that you're the owner. And it's just really cool that they have a system for this. I wish that they had that in every city. Don't you think that's a great idea?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm trying to think of what happens with that. What do we do?
Well, it seems like let's say you leave it in a cab, then it's with that company.
Yeah.
So it's not streamlined. So then
so what's the central location that everybody turns this in? Did I miss that in the story? Where do they go? Do they take this? If you find an object on the street,
you go there.
Take it where?
You go. It's a building.
So this is a known thing.
Yeah.
That they're this is the gigantic lost and found
for the whole city.
You'll get this is where you take. Oh.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And
we should have that.
They have a system where if it's of this value to this value, they'll keep it for, 4 months. And if it's a higher value, they keep it for longer. And they even have a corner for strange items, like a prosthetic leg or...
I love it. I love it.
One person had left a wedding dress in a taxi cab. That had been there for a long time. And they were wonder why she doesn't want it.
Yep, there's a story there. Oh my gosh, everything. It would be so fun to go there and just make up stories.
Yes.
As to how it got there.
And the person that wrote the
fun.
article was saying that he or she was in the lobby area and was enjoying the experience of seeing people reunited with things that meant something to them. Oh, yeah. And even if it's just your wallet, there's stuff in there that's distinctly you besides just your
It doesn't
ID.
matter even if it's generic, something that other people have. If it's yours and you want it, and that there's a sense of ownership.
And there's that Joni Mitchell line, you don't know what you got till it's gone. As soon as you lose something, it's there's a sense of, you know how it is with your phone. You know when you lost your phone. There's an urgency about it. That's mine and I need it.
You know what's funny is the phone I was like, yeah, it's lost. I'll probably get a new one, whatever. But I am seriously feeling it with my lost water bottle.
Where is it?
I don't know, Suze. It's been lost for like 2 weeks, and I feel like I'm dehydrated because it's lost. I'm like hoping it's going to turn up somewhere, but I thought maybe I left it at your house. Nope, didn't do that.
What kind? Like, is it a certain kind or a special kind?
It's like and then I looked for like a week to find the perfect one that was the most ounces, that also fit in the cup holder, that had a sports straw, not one that you have to unscrew the top on, and that wasn't $1 million, and I lost it already. I had it for a fucking week. Sorry, Linda.
That's really weird because you only had it for a week?
Yeah, and I'm like not somebody who loses things. Like I can count the number of things I've lost on like one hand. Like I may misplace them, but they always come back, and I always know where I left them, and I don't ever, even things that have gotten stolen have somehow made it back to me sometimes.
What? I wonder where this thing is.
Yeah, once I had my purse stolen in New York City at a club. And then
that happened in Vegas with us too. Remember?
No, that was not stolen. I left it in the bathroom.
Right. Yeah.
And then I went back and it was there still.
Right.
So lucky me. But in New York, somebody actually swiped my purse.
Oh my God.
And it was a Gucci bag.
And you got it back?
My mistake. Well, no, I didn't get the bag back, but what I did get back, I was more upset because I'm like, holy fuck, I'm in New York, my wallet's gone, and I have no ID. How am I going to get back home? And I did not want to hassle at the airport and all this shit because it was like from one of those MTV reunions, so I was already agitated and wanted to go home. And I get an email, like I check my email somehow, like at the hotel, I don't know what, like to try to probably go to Wells Fargo and get some money. And I checked my email, and somebody had found me on Facebook and contacted me they were from NYU, and they found my ID on the street, and they recognized me from the show, and they found Googled me and found my Facebook and sent me an email through there. So I got my ID back. I just had to walk 1,000,000 blocks to get it.
That's awesome.
But I freaking got it back. And you would have thought that they were returning like a child to me. I was like, oh my God, I thought I'd never see it again. Thank you so much. Thank you. And somebody, I'm like, wow, that came back to me. Thank you, universe. But not the bag.
Wow.
Yep.
Is it because you leave your purses around when you're at bars and stuff, or what?
Well, I don't do that anymore. I learned that lesson the hard way. I have learned a lot of lessons the hard way. I don't leave anything valuable out in my car that can be seen. I hide things, like I bury my purse underneath the seat, or like if I have to leave it, all that. I take every precaution, and people are always like, oh, you're so worried. No, it's because I've actually had shit stolen and all this stuff, so I take every precaution.
School of Hard Knocks
Risk
over
averse. There. Yeah, that's right. That's
Risk
how I learned.
averse.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
what about you? Have you lost something? Like, do you think of something that comes to your head when you feel like sad over something you lost?
The one that always comes to mind was from when I was like 12 years old, and I had a little change purse that was it looked like, that yellow famous smiley face from the 70s.
Yeah.
It was like that. And I had put $40 in there, which was all the money I had in the world, like from birthday and everything. And it just got mixed up in with our Sunday paper and got thrown out. And so I knew what happened to it, which actually is helpful because there's nothing worse than when you keep looking and you still can't find it. Yeah. At least I knew what happened, but I thought, I cannot believe $40.
You knew in a second that it was thrown out with the newspaper. You were like, yeah.
Pretty quickly, we were like, oh, we see what happened here. But that's why I'm curious about your water bottle, though, because I feel like, you know how people always say, where's the last place you had it? Do you know the answer to that, where it was?
I don't. I've been through, and then I thought, what kind of place do you take a water bottle into? That's where I get hung up because I'm like, I don't understand where I would take this that isn't my school.
What color is it?
Black. And this is the most annoying part in the whole universe. There is a section, why I was like, ooh, that's a fun water bottle to get, is it's all black and there's a little white rectangular square that's like built into the, bottle or whatever. It's like on there, painted on there. And it's for you to write your name on. Oh. And maybe a contact information so it doesn't get lost. And I told everybody in my clinic, I was like, look, it even has a little place to write your name down.
But you hadn't done it yet.
Nope. I think I was like, I have to get the perfect pen or something dumb like that.
I'm going to predict that you're going to find it. That's my prediction. I believe this will turn out.
Thank you, Suze. I'm really hoping that you just put that out into the universe. I'm like checking the lot. I need to. Why don't we have an office of found objects?
Right. It'll be here. It'll be here at Brain Candy Studios. And
yes, please deliver your items.
Yeah. Here. Dang. Oh well.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what straight A students are getting wrong?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Gosh.
There was an article in the New York Times about how straight A's, like, getting all A's is not a good predictor of whether you'll be a successful person in your career.
I know that to be true 100%.
Yeah, right? Me too.
Yes.
The article said that career success is rarely about finding the right solution to a problem. It's more about finding the right problem to solve, which I thought was very interesting because they were saying that people that are obsessed with getting all A's are just about usually like memorizing information and then spitting it back out, which isn't really about creativity or finding the right problem to solve or what needs need to be met. And then that straight A's requires conformity, but success is usually about originality, like having a really good idea or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it also pointed out that people that are...
I love this. This is really an argument for my...
approach.
College, yes, approach to grad school.
And they said that if all you care about is having a perfect straight A thing, then you're more inclined to take easy classes. So you might not be learning as much as the person who maybe got a C but took something really challenging and taught them a lot in the world.
And it really is just this memorization thing. Like I can see the people doing it. And then afterwards, it's like they have no clue what, like it doesn't translate into...
I agree.
Sometimes it does. But.
Yeah, sometimes it does. But I think that this makes some good points about why, if you don't get straight A's, why, it's not the end of the world and that you might be just as successful or more so. Yeah.
I love this.
Me too.
I did not do so well on my final. So
when?
Didn't matter. I didn't have to. But
how do you
still,
know
I was
that?
like, because I got my grade back super fast, like at least on the multiple choice. Oh. And I was like, oh,
really?
It's not so good. But it didn't matter. It didn't bring, I mean, I was already
fine,
getting it.
But
it was fine. But it was one of my what you told me, good is good enough. And I was like, you know what? I conceptually really understand this shit. And I have been using this in my own practice. And I've been, applying this with clients. And my papers were great. Like, I'm just going to not stress and not study. So I didn't. And then,
Well, yeah. And it's like, what it's a trade-off. We all have the same amount of time in life. So how are you going to spend your time? And so it doesn't matter. And you didn't have to spend all that time investing in something that didn't change the outcome in the end.
It didn't. And I still know and the stuff that I got wrong are specific percentages and number stuff. Like what percentage of women want to be stay-at-home moms? What percentage of women want to be full-time? What percentage of women want to be part-time? What do they prefer? Blah, 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 blah. And they were like all these like minor details that I was like, I get the general concept.
Right. All right. Well, good. You're going to let it go.
I'm going to let it go. I'm trying to let it go. This conversation is helping.
And then another thing that I was reading about that I thought you would find interesting was an article, I think this was also in the New York Times, why we start things we never finish.
Oh, hello. This is me. Susie, it's like you picked it out special.
I knew you would relate to this.
Tell me why we do that.
Well, first of all, this won't surprise you. We underestimate how long things take. So
that is the story of my life.
When we dive in, we think, oh my God, this is going to be great. And then it's like, this is taking a long time and is more laborious than I had predicted. And then the second point is pretty obvious too. Starting is exciting, continuing isn't.
Right.
And you don't get that rush when you just keep doing the task.
What do they call hegemonic adaptation, where like stuff becomes just boring and mundane?
Yeah, because the beginning process is like, okay, we're doing this, and then you're like an hour later, like, okay, we're still doing it.
And thinking about the time one, about overestimating or underestimating how long things will take. What comes to my mind there is that sometimes if people are doing something that's an enjoyable activity for them, they can be in that flow space where they don't really have a concept of time. Yeah. So the idea, like, that's how I am. I'm like, oh, I'll just whip through, like, putting these Christmas decorations up on the tree and it'll be no problem. 4 hours later, I was, like, still futzing with it. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell? How did all that time pass? And in my mind, I thought I was going to have them up and done in half an hour. Yeah. And it was because when I'm doing that thing, I really don't have a concept of time. And if you told me, like, how long it takes to drive somewhere, I think I would be better at estimating it. But if you tell me, like,
it's just a general task.
Theory. Yeah.
Well, the article encouraged people to, whatever they're diving into, to multiply whatever they predict the amount of time to be that it will take by 3.
Whoa! Okay, you know what? That's the exact. Thought it would take me half an hour, and it or an hour, I guess it would, and it took me like +3. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So that's a good tip.
That is good advice, Suze.
Right? But
I'm digging that.
Some people maybe just don't care that they don't finish. Like, diving in is fun, and they don't care if they finish it. And for them, whatever. Good for them. But
are there things that you are fine with abandoning, or are you like, I have to finish?
No, because I'm one of those people that won't quit reading a book. Yeah. I guess I will start something like on Netflix, and if after 10 minutes it's not good, I will quit that.
What about like projects?
No, I got to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. Do you wrap all your Christmas presents in one go?
Yeah, all at once at the end.
Wow.
Yep. You're so funny.
Good job.
Do you do that?
No. It's like as I get them or as I feel like I do like a push, but I can't finish all of them. I'm like,
that's probably good.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's a better way to do it?
I don't know. I think maybe sitting down and just getting it done, because then you're not stressing out about how you still have to do it. It's like, this is when I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to do it, and then it's going to be done, and then I'm going to move on. And so you're not like, you've already made the decision about how much time you're going to spend on it, when you're going to do it, when you're going to be signaling that you're done doing it. So you're going to like give yourself the right amount of time to do it. Me, I'm like, I'll just try to get there as much as I can before I feel exhausted, and it's 2:00 in the morning, and the timer on the Christmas tree lights go out, and it tells me I need to go to bed.
Well, hopefully by the time people are listening to this, they have all their wrapping done. It's almost
hopefully
time.
They will. Yeah.
And then we're going to have to start thinking about our New Year's goals.
Yes, thank you for catching yourself. I was going to think about that.
I'm
Do you have
excited.
Any ideas? Any themes?
No, I'm going to start thinking about it, though, and decide what I want for the coming year. So, like, maybe when we reconvene on our next show, we could maybe go over some options. Do you have a clear vision already? Not
a clear vision, but I need it to be in the category of self-care.
Oh, okay.
And I'm interested in like a self-care schedule. Bridging those two things.
Yeah, I like that. I think a lot of people have that same need.
Yeah, like you need to do it, but it doesn't become a priority. So how do you prioritize those things? It's like that axe, the axe, like wood chopper analogy about like, have I told the story on here?
I think you did, but it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, about how like, there was like a race of, 2 wood choppers, and one kept taking breaks all the time, and he was like an old man who did it, and at the end of the day, against like the young man who never took a break and kept going and going.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, they checked the piles, and the old man had beat him by like 3 times as much. And the guy was like, you just take breaks all the time. What the heck? How did I lose to you? And the guy said, well, every time I took a break, I was sharpening my axe.
Right.
And made it better and sharper and more efficient. And so it's like, how are you sharpening your axe to take a break so that you're not just go, go, go? And I got to figure out how to sharpen my axe, but to create a schedule around that. So if any of you listeners have ideas.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Let's crowdsource that.
Crowdsource my self-care and creating a schedule around that. Because I've been trying for 30 plus years to figure it out, and I can't, so I need help.
Well, in the meantime, I wish you a Merry Christmas, and to all the listeners, I wish them, if they celebrate, Merry Christmas. And I hope that people have a restful and peaceful holiday.
Yes, and to all a good night.
And leave us a 5-star review. Don't be rude about it.
Yeah.
And we're off the hook,
All right,
Sarah.
guys. We love you.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.